into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. On the show today, West Indies cricket team make it to a historic semi-final in the T20 World Cup. Jubilant scenes erupted after that win. What is key to the women's success and what hardships have they had to endure to make it so far? Meanwhile, Cristiano Ronaldo's numbers game is strong both on and off the field. The Portuguese star just starred in his 200th game for Portugal last night, and off the field, his recent luxury watch launch is sure to rake in the millions. How is his business game as strong as the one on the football pitch? And where does he have his targets set? Yusuf Dikec has hit a bit of a speed bump in the shooting World Cup, but also says he's now bored with all the attention. Is that taking his focus away? More on that in the show, but first, a look at the headlines. Starting with cricket, the first day of the first test between India and New Zealand in Bengaluru has been washed out due to the weather conditions. The pitch remained covered due to persistent rains through the day. And to compensate for the lost time, there will be an early start and a total of 98 overs have been allocated for day 2. For the first time in 40 years, Australia cricket has dropped Brisbane's Gabba as the venue for the 2025-26 Ashes opener. The series will get underway in Perth instead. The second test will be held at the Gabba. Over in football, Lionel Messi scored a hat-trick in Argentina's 6-0 win over Bolivia in a World Cup qualifier. This was Messi's 10th international hat-trick, equaling Ronaldo's record tally. The duo are the only two footballers to achieve this feat in football. Former Bayern Munich boss Thomas Tuchel is set to become England's head coach. England has been without a coach since Gareth Southgate stepped down following England's poor run at the Euros. Tuchel will become the third non-English coach after Sven-Goran Eriksson and Fabio Capello to take charge. In developments at Manchester United, the club ended Alex Ferguson's multi-million-dollar ambassadorial contract in the wake of cost-cutting by the management. Ferguson has been associated with the club for a total of 26 years. He's won 38 trophies with the club during his tenure. And summing it up with news from NFL, Tom Brady has become part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. This after his 5% stake was approved by the NFL owners. In addition to Las Vegas Raiders, Brady also holds a joint 10% stake in the Oakland Raiders along with Tom Wagner and Richard Seymour. It's quest for queendom, and today we speak about the West Indies cricket team who've scripted something remarkable. They've made it to the semi-final of the T20 World Cup. And the reason why this one is special, of course, is because it's a semi-final berth. It's extra memorable on any day. But there are two additional reasons why this win is monumental for this side. One, they've made it to the semi-final for the very first time since 2018. The last two editions, they actually were knocked out in the first round itself. Two, they beat England to get there. A dominant side that they have not been able to get past or get the better of since 2018. They had lost the last 13 games, in fact, to this very side. And it was not just an ordinary win. The manner was clinical, dominant, and so very West Indian. Everyone lauded this team for the way they performed on the night. One of their top performers, apart from their captain Hayley Matthews, was 23-year-old Kiana Joseph. The fearless attitude, the quiet and calm demeanor at that pitch, and the stroke making that she displayed. It dismantled an opposition that was already on the back foot. She kept her wits about her to take her team close to the finish line. There was this interview that she gave to West Indies cricket 5 years ago where she introduces herself as a fast bowler. And when asked what her 5-year ambition, her goal was, she said to become the best fast bowler for West Indies. And to think she won this match for West Indies purely with her bat. That swashbuckling 50 that she made, and at a World Cup, is how ironical her journey has been. And she's only 23. And trust the very cool world boss, as her teammates call her, Deandra Doughton, to carry the momentum forward. And let's not forget Alia Alain to strike that resounding boundary at the end to get the win. West Indies were a team on fire, and the pictures after that victory, those moments alone are enough for you to believe that this team could go all the way. The captain, very aptly after the match got over, and once it sunk in that she and her team were in the semi-final of a World Cup, had this to say.
I think a lot of people wrote us off coming into this tournament and the way we have been able to go about our cricket, especially after the start we had against South Africa. We've just bounced back. I think a lot of people coming up against us know that if it is one thing that we've got, it is a lot of hearts and a lot of fights. And we've just showed that today.
There's absolutely no other joy than the one when you prove someone wrong, especially when as a team you've been written off, not in contention, to even get to the semi-finals. That's when it's the sweetest. And this is a side that has been trying to rediscover itself for some years now, in a country that just recently hopped onto the parity bandwagon. Let me recount the last 1 year and the significant developments and the changes that have come about. Let's start with the recent one. Just some weeks ago, 3 senior West Indies women cricketers were handed multiple-year contracts alongside 6 of their male counterparts. Many others were handed central contracts too. A massive step forward by the West Indies Cricket Board that in the past has been at constant loggerheads with the cricketers at. Earlier this year, they signed an MOU with the Players Association to set them on the path to gender parity and parity when it comes to international and regional match fees. In fact, last year, the board took a huge step in deciding that their women cricketers too would travel business class for the long hauls and stay in individual rooms. So you can only imagine what it would have been prior to this. But coming back to the moment for West Indies cricket, who do they take on next? New Zealand in Sharjah. It's not going to be easy. They will miss a key hand in Stephanie Taylor, and they just need to evade that sense of over-reliance, particularly on Hayley Matthews when it comes to both the departments, batting and bowling. And this is the reason why they have had limited success in this format, especially in the last 23 T20 matches that they have played so far against New Zealand. West Indies have only won 4 times. In fact, the last time they beat New Zealand in this format was back in 2016. A year they would want to remember, a match they would want to particularly look back to because it came in the same tournament, a T20 World Cup, in an edition that they won. They went all the way, making it one of the most memorable episodes in the history of West Indian cricket, when both their teams, the men and women, won World Cups together. And that's the memory they would want to recreate this year too. Cristiano Ronaldo had a rare off day during Portugal's Nations League fixture against Scotland, but it still was an outing he'd want to remember as it marked the 200th time he started out on a football pitch for Portugal. And while anyone would celebrate an occasion such as this, a rare 200th start, Ronaldo seemed frustrated as he walked back to the tunnel after the game. He would have liked to score and give Portugal a win last night, but he's surely scoring off the pitch. While his crazy contract and brand endorsements are enough to make him one of the richest athletes in the world, the Portuguese has whipped up another venture. He's launched his own line of luxury watches in partnership with a renowned watch brand. The launch showcased two models that go by the names Flight of CR7 and Heart of CR7. Of course, as the name suggests, the two exquisite watches have significant references to Ronaldo's career embossed on the dial and has his signature as well. And while Ronaldo's association itself is enough to make these watches priceless, the fact that only 999 pieces have been made make them all the more appealing. And the watches do not come cheap, quite obviously. The price range is anything between $29,000 right up to $160,000. A fine business module, not just for the watch brand, but particularly for Ronaldo. It is decisions such as this that make Ronaldo as good a business person, as sharp a business mind as the footballer he is. Because the Al Nassr captain knows how to make money from money. Sure, the watch line he has launched is quite unique, detailed and has precision in its design. It is a top-notch watch to own for anyone. And the reason they'd want to have it is, of course, the bigger name that it's associated with, Cristiano Ronaldo. That's what makes this watch priceless. And seeing the fandom Ronaldo has, the die-hard ones are eager to get their hands on a piece of Ronaldo. And he's not only capitalizing on that, you could tell how manic Ronaldo fans truly are. During the Nations League fixture between Scotland and Portugal too, despite the match being in Scotland, fans came out for Ronaldo. They were excited just to get an opportunity to watch him play. Even before the match, Scottish fans queued up and waited for more than 6 hours to be able to enter the stadium and catch a glimpse of the superstar. So the clever businessman that Ronaldo is, he knows that his fans are not just eager to watch him on the field, many are also very, very interested in owning a tangible piece of him. And what better than a piece of luxury watch on the wrist, something that is evident with every Ronaldo business venture. He's literally part of every luxury industry one can make money out of. He owns a chain of restaurants, has jointly invested in top hotels, and while other celebrities own private jets for their personal purposes, Ronaldo not only uses them but also puts them out on rent. And the rental goes over $3,000 an hour. And given Ronaldo's regime and the fitness lifestyle he diligently pursues, it's no surprise that he has a chain of fitness centers and hair clinics too. Rounding off with the only one of the few sectors left, clothing industry as well. Now, he's part of industries that require heavy investments and quality services, yes, but the returns on them are exorbitant. The leverage Ronaldo here has is he can charge as he desires because he is appealing to an audience that aren't just his fans but also people with loaded pockets. He's generating wealth over his own reputation, the one he's earned on the field. Which is why Ronaldo's net worth continues to climb. He was the highest paid athlete, not just in his peak years at Real Madrid in 2016 and 2017, but also during his move to Al Nassr in 2023. He was named in the 100 most influential people in 2014, and with the YouTube platform launch just recently, his social media fan following is massive, has gone over 1 billion, which makes his career earnings more than $1 billion. The only footballer to go so far. And here's the thing, this is a star whose fan following will continue even after he retires, much after it. But the footballer knows that the best time to establish his own brand and cash in on it is while he's still playing. He's paving that path of post-retirement. Just like the calculated football decisions, Ronaldo is making the right career choices beyond the field. Sure, the Messi versus Ronaldo debate will continue to rage on over their footballing merits, but maybe Ronaldo, the businessman, has left many other sports persons a little behind. The world went gaga over Turkish shooter Yusuf Dikec after his heroics at the Paris Olympics. His casual demeanor made him quite the overnight sensation and a popular figure the world over. This despite not winning gold, silver in the 10-meter air pistol mixed team event. The shooter, in fact, gained much more recognition than the eventual gold medal winners, even inspiring celebrations and poses from athletes across different sporting disciplines. So much so that Dikec had to get his viral post patented. But after 2 months of fame, looks like Dikec has had enough. He says he's bored of the constant attention and fandom. And while the fame did wonders for shooting and the renewed popularity that the sport gained, it's hurting Dikec's performance. And is his ability to focus also shaky now? Take a look at what Dikec feels about this.
Yusuf Dikec took the shooting world by storm. Didn't even take him a gold medal to become the most popular athlete at the Olympic Games. Just a casual dress-up and an even more casual demeanor to become the most talked about athlete. He was everywhere, on merchandise and memorabilia. His pose was being marketed and he even filed a patent for it to restrict duplications. And weeks down the line, it seems like Dikec has had enough, as expressed to some of the Indian media.
I'm happy to get so much love from people, but sometimes I get angry. Initially, I enjoyed it, but now it's getting a bit boring because everyone asks about the same things.
Now, it is true that he became a household name, and while the fame did wonders to portray shooters as a bunch of cool people, it is slowly becoming redundant for the Turkish shooter himself. Whenever Dikec goes out to participate in any tournament, he gets all the attention, and fans ask him to recreate the same pose over and over again. We saw that recently during the ISSF World Cup in India's capital, New Delhi. Every step Dikec takes has been followed with requests and imitations. Why Dikec gets angry over the multiple requests is understandable. He was happy with the anonymity, being a little invisible to the world. He was happy to be the most famous shooter for his family, his daughter. What's more concerning though is that it is succeeding in frustrating Dikec and affecting his performance. The consistent fame, the many events and appointments seem to have shifted his focus away from the sport.
After the Olympics, we had to attend so many dinners and receptions. There hasn't been much time to train or meet friends and family. Meeting my daughter after the end of the Olympics was the best thing that happened.
Clearly, the Olympic fame has taken a toll on Dikec's performance. That is what he believes. Because despite being one of the favourites at the World Cup, Dikec failed to qualify for the 10-meter air pistol final. And even though this feels like a bit of a speed bump, Dikec has his sights set on the next target. The Turk clearly isn't one to give up. Despite the recent slump he has experienced or the loss in concentration, Dikec is certain to come back stronger, and he will hope that this post-Olympic hangover doesn't last too long.
Time for last serve. French captain Kylian Mbappe has returned to training with Real Madrid. This amid all the negative news and allegations flying around and surrounding the footballer. Take a look. That wraps it up here on Firstpost. I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care. Bye-bye.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election, explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.